So oh, thanks, Sue. If we want to start with Sue and registrations and rooms and
Okay, I will do what I can. As of this afternoon, we have 126 people registered in total, 85 for Teachers' Day, which is great. Virtual for the Congress itself, 59 virtual, 67 in person. For Teachers' Day, 36 virtual, 49 in person. So, yay. And there's still people registering one or two a day for virtual. So I think more of those will come in. They're for single days, not one person registered for the whole Congress. But the rest of them are for single days or for 2 days. So there'll still be more coming in. The rooms, after we talked last time, I wrote to the person at the El Dorado. I gave her the setup for the rooms, having them in round tables like we talked about, et cetera, and all those kinds of things. So that they have all that. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up, but who knows? We'll find out when we get there probably. Memorials, Marjorie's all set. As I think I said that last time, everything's all ready for that. There are only 2 people since last year's virtual Congress. So they will both be honored. Giveaways, the pens and bags are on their way to Cordy. Actually, the pens arrived yesterday and the bags should be there in the next few days. The pens were easier for them to do because it's just a repeat of old orders. The bags are a new order, so they'll be there soon. Menus, I'm not sure why that's under me. So I don't
I
have
don't
any.
oh, I was just gonna say that you and I are meeting with the hotel on Monday to talk.
Okay, good. All right.
So they're happening. We're gonna refine that and you'll have all the numbers for the special diets.
Oh, yeah, I have all of that. Yes, yes. That's pretty much probably half the people have some kind of allergy. And Peggy sent me a whole separate sheet on hers. So we have all of that. Yes. They
Mm.
wanted me to talk about the time frame for the pendant auction, but I think that was a question I had. When do we want to start it? We don't want to start it too much in advance of the Congress itself. Ray, I think you heard me talk about one of our members designs pendants, he facets stones and he donated a bunch of them. So we're auctioning them off at the Congress. So it's all set up. It'll be totally online. People can bid on them online and then but we have to decide when do we want to open it because it's open to the public, not just to people at the Congress, I think, I would assume. And then
Yep.
we have when we're closing it. So that's my question.
Well, do we start it on the Friday morning or you don't want to start it before any gatherings?
That's I'm asking. Do you want to start it ahead of time so that the general public can also have a chance to look at them and bid on them, or do you want to just do it at the Congress? Those are 2 different options. So I think
I
we have
think
to decide.
last time we talked about maybe starting it a little bit earlier and then figuring out when it's gonna close is the thing, but I don't know. What do other people think?
I
Is there
think
like a final email that goes out, like kind of saying there is something, or is that something Ray sends, right? Is it you send the links?
Ray's not
No.
involved in this yet.
No, I'm just thinking about, I'm trying to remember the last time we sent out some kind of an email a week before or something, or and we could let
Oh no,
people know.
I send out an email a week before. He does one and I do one. I do one that's more directed at the people who are attending in person. He does one that's more directed at the virtual people. But the one that I send also includes the virtual people. So, but that if we're opening this to the public, we would announce that in the e-newsletter so that anybody could bid on it. So I think we need to decide that first. If it's only people attending the Congress, then it'll just go out in an email a week, 10 days before the Congress, and we'll open it that day. And then we'll close it either Saturday at the membership meeting and announce the winners then, or they'll get an email announcing it. I'm not quite sure how this is all gonna work on the website. I'll talk with our guys at Loud Canvas to figure out how it gets announced and how the winner gets notified. But it's automatic, I think, that the winner gets notified once we close it. But we have to decide when we're closing it. Do we do it as a membership meeting? Do we do it at lunch on Sunday before we do the closing remarks and the closing ceremony? I don't know. Those are things we have to decide. So number one, is it going to be public? In which case we'll open it like 10 days before the Congress in an e-newsletter. Is it just for people who are attending the Congress? Then it'll go out in an email to everyone attending the Congress 10 days before, and we'll open it on the website at that day, only to people who are attending at the Congress, attending the Congress. And then we have to decide when we're closing it. So
Madonna, you were gonna say something?
What?
You were gonna say something?
Yes, I was going to say that I think, like, how many stones do we have, Sue?
I think there are 19 that we're auctioning off.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I think that it would be a good idea to open it to people in the e-news. I would like to see that, because it's, you know, it's another, you know, people love process, and it's another process issue to offer to people who are subscribing to the e-news, and maybe it can, you
I
know,
agree.
get enthusiasm.
I
even
agree.
for the Congress, yeah.
When do you think we should close it? Membership meeting or Sunday?
I think membership meeting.
Anybody else? Hi, Cordy. Barbara, what do you think?
I think so too. Close it at the meeting and open it ahead of time.
Okay, Patty, what do you think? Take yourself off mute, Patty.
I am. I was coughing. I like opening it ahead of time. I just more inclusive. I like that approach.
Okay. And close it at the membership meeting? Is that okay? Peggy, okay?
How much work is it to close it? That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. If it's a lot
On the
of work.
website. It's all on the
Okay.
website. I'll just,
So
as
it'll- Yeah,
far as I know, all I have to do is push the switch.
okay, all
Oh,
right.
It
As long as it's
might even have a timer. Like you put in the final
yes,
time and
yes, I know.
it just stops accepting bids, you know?
yeah. I have to set the times when we're opening it and when we're closing it. So yes, of course it has that.
Great.
So
Okay,
it'll-
yeah,
it
as
should
long
be-
as it's not going to distract somebody, that's great. Especially if that somebody's you.
Thank you, dear. Okay. Ray, you don't care, right?
No, I agree with everything you said. Yeah. It all
What
sounds
a
good.
guy. Thank you,
And
Ray.
Cordy got here too late to vote, so we're all set. Okay, I'm done.
Hi, Cordy.
Hi, Cordy.
I don't understand why I'm late, because I thought it started at 4 Mountain Time. But
Well,
anyway,
that's why you're late, because it didn't start at 4. It started at 3 Mountain Time.
oh God. Okay. Well, I wrote it down wrong. Sorry.
Hey,
Are you all
can't-
finished?
Yeah, we're done. We're close.
Oh,
That's funny.
we're not very centered.
No.
Do you want to, do you have a quick centering? We could
Oh,
recenter.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's easy.
Well, let's do it.
Okay. Everybody just become aware of your breath. And as we feel our breath, it connects us almost automatically to our heart space. Take another breath and send it down your body, through your feet, into the floor, into the earth, and root yourself, ground yourself. Imagine ourselves in a beautiful space, connected hand to hand, heart to heart, as we harmonize and unify, bringing wisdom and understanding and inspiration for this amazing meeting. Thank you. That was pretty fast.
That was good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks, Grady.
It's always good to keep coming back to center.
It is.
All right. Ray,
Yeah.
I made
So-
some little notes in in the little
Yes.
agenda. I was wondering about the whole map thing, and if Sue could just give you everybody's location ahead of time. So instead of having people have to type in their thing, because I know that was a little chaotic last time, that it just comes up and with everybody's location.
We can certainly do that if we have that and we want to have a map like that. The reason for having sort of the interactive piece for those people who are remote, I mean, it helps engage them. You know, they're doing something and they see the activity of, you know, when people pop up and that sort of thing. And so I'm starting to use it more in, you know, just group meetings as a sort of an icebreaker sort of thing. But it's just optional, and I can have it ready anytime, and we can do it anytime. We can do it during a break. You know, while everyone's out at a break, we just put the map up and have anybody that wants to type in where you're from, it'll show up on the map, that sort of thing. It's really optional.
So I guess the people that are there in person still do it on their phones or something.
Yeah, I can
That's
put
the
up
thing.
I can put up a QR code that they can snap on their phone, and it'll take them to a place where they can type their answer in right there. Yeah.
In addition to which, I can also send you a list ahead of time, but I agree, it's a great icebreaker, and I
Mhm.
thought the people online, yeah, it was a little chaotic, but they really had fun doing it, so.
But last time we were all online, whereas this time we're
No, I
half
meant
and
when Town, when they were doing it.
anyway, that was all my question.
Yeah. What were your other notes? Did you have other notes? I was looking for
I
the
just
notes. All
we're just about there was this question about when to do the photo Zoom, and I was thinking maybe just before lunch on Saturday.
Sure. And I think last time we kind of tried to get the online people together to do that while some of the photos were going, you know, in person. So,
Right. We haven't figured out when that might happen.
yeah. So I would like for us to figure out when we might want to do it so that everyone who only wants to attend certain parts, you know, that if they want to be there for that, they know to be there at, you know, 11:30 or whatever it is. Yep. The other couple of things on my brain about this one is that normally I offer sort of this presenter consult to people who are presenting remotely, and I have the virtual nursing theory workshop in March, and so I'm probably right after that just going to open up a week or two where the couple of people that are presenting remotely can sign up with me and spend 15 or 20 minutes just kind of going over, you know, lighting and camera, and, you know, don't be leaning over here, and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'll send that link out to all of the remote presenters. No reason for the on-site presenters to have to talk to me about what to do. They'll just do their usual thing. So
I have a question for the on-site presenters, but last time we had a number of people complaining because they didn't have their computers at the podium, so they were not controlling their PowerPoints. I was controlling it from the techie table,
Yeah.
and having to watch them, you know, so I'd know when to hit that. There's no way, I mean, this time there's gonna be a monitor there, so they'll be able to see what's happening. They'll see what the Zoom people are seeing.
Sure.
There's no way that I can do that any other way, is there? I've been thinking about
Well,
in the middle of the night thinking,
well,
"Oh, I do
see, I've been looking for years for something that will allow somebody remotely to control the slides. And since our event, I've found a thing called Slides Clicker, that basically, now this is normally when I'm controlling the slides. They get a link on their phone, and their phone has a green arrow and a red arrow, and they just tap their phone when they're ready to go to the next one, and it does it. They don't have to say next or any of that stuff, and they have some control over it.
okay.
We could talk about whether it's worthwhile doing that for you, because it requires some extra software to be added to your computer in order to do
Yeah,
that.
I can only think of one person who will be comfortable doing that, so it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, but I don't think a lot of people
Yeah.
would do it. The other thing I was thinking about was that I'm only presenting at Teachers Day, and one of the things I wanted to do was show the website live, and I was going to be typing, and then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning the other day going, oh no, I'm not going to have my computer. Somebody else is going to have my computer. So I'm
Right.
going to have to do a PowerPoint with screenshots of the website
Sure.
with,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I
Yeah.
thought maybe have a brainstorm. All right, thank you.
And you could record, a little video of,
Oh, I could, couldn't I?
some
Okay.
stuff, and then play that, and, then self-narrate while that's going on.
That's a good idea. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
The Zoom guys do that a lot in some of their sessions. So yeah.
okay, thank you. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing is I have all of my ducks lined up. I've got maps and flags for the international presenters, and I'm starting to pick out what part of each of their discussion is going to go into the international video. And yeah, the forward-looking video is going to be easy because there's only two people, and both of them were wonderful. I mean, they were all wonderful, but yeah, two people, it's easier to kind of pick and choose. One of the questions I had was I wasn't sure when that forward-looking video would be played. So how long are you looking for that to be?
That's going to be the last hurrah
Okay, gotcha.
before the closing. And we're looking for it to be, well,
Half an hour is the time slot for
yes.
the whole thing.
Right, and Jane will be doing something live also. And she may have one of her people up and who recorded, but she'll also be on stage. She's agreed to be on stage with Jane.
Oh, is
So
that
I'm
Cassandra?
gonna, Cassandra, right.
Very good.
I'm gonna have to ask Jane again, what she got and how long is it gonna be? So that we can,
How much of the 30 minutes does she need? And then how much time do you have
Right.
left for the video? Yeah.
right.
So yeah, if you can work that with her and then send that over to me so that I kind of know what I'm shooting for.
Yes.
I can easily do 15 minutes. I think it could be easily compressed into 10 if she wanted to do 20 of the live and whatever else she has.
Yes. I mean, the times that we've talked, she has a bunch of ideas, but she's never told me which one she's actually gonna do.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I get that a lot.
probably the time to decide that is coming, like now. Yeah.
I think she became a grandmother yesterday or the day before, so that's probably a little
well
distraction.
then,
That's early.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, she's
Wow.
early. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
congratulations to her, and she is not gonna wanna mess with this for a while. She has other things on her mind. Okay,
Okay, so that really is, kind of all of, my stuff. I haven't yet reached out to the, kind of the TV crew that's going to be there and coordinated things, but last time it went really, really well and there were no glitches. So, at least none that anybody figured out. I had one or two in the back end, but it was good.
Okay,
We had a few too, but Nathan just reached over and did my part when I messed up. It worked out fine.
Yeah. Okay.
They were great. Thanks, Ray. Sue, is there anything to say about Teachers' Day?
Nothing to add from the last time. No, everything's moving along.
Awesome. All right, Cordy,
Mhm.
are you there?
Yeah.
So,
So I sent, I have them down here too. If you want me to share, I mean, did people have a chance to look at the Saturday night invitation with history or the, Eliza and my work on things to do and where restaurants are and everything like that? Did you glance at that?
I reformatted the Saturday night invitation a little bit so it fit on one page. Just
Oh,
for
good.
the part of it, because it's going to fit in with. I don't want to send out 10 separate emails with announcing all these things. So if we can get it all in like one package,
Right,
it's
right.
beautiful. Looks
So,
beautiful. And the
that's
stuff
good.
you
Okay.
Eliza did is incredible, amazing.
And
Thank.
And then I ordered all the brochures and I think I pick up the Santa Fe ones next Wednesday. I still have to confirm when I pick up with the Tewa ones. Where things are, it is more than one page. But the stuff that's important
That's
is.
okay. That's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Do you want to throw a
And-
couple of pictures on there like you usually do?
Oh,
Not too
sure, I can definitely add
Not
pictures.
too much.
Not too much, little
Enough to-
ones.
Yeah, good ones.
Okay. And then I wanted to just show the progress. Is it all right for me to share? Can y'all see that? So the first two paragraphs are pretty solid in my mind. The part in blue here are words that I'm still trying to thread in because it's important. But I can send this to you as well, just so that you have a feel for it. And also I'm going to be working with my linguistic son-in-law to make sure I pronounce everything correctly. Because I want to say things as correctly as possible. Not that, I will have an accent, but, I know that like J and H J and double Y's are like H's, or double L's or Y's, and, in all that stuff. I want to make sure I have all the pronunciations correct. Anyway, and Santa Fe, the Ogapo'oge, is the name given by the Tewas, and I definitely want to talk a little bit about that. So I'll just send this to you all so that you can, look at it and give me feedback. And, I think we're all good with Panina's tickets. I saw that on the agenda, but, she sent all that she needed to send to Sue. I've been recompensed, so I think we're good there, right? Was there anything else that I was supposed to report on?
I just, because I wasn't here last time, I'm not clear on if you and the women are filling up sort of the ceremony, land acknowledgement, like all that piece.
Yeah, I think 15, I was taking like 2 to 3 minutes, and the two women that will speak, one woman will do like 3 to 4 minutes on the environmental justice part of Tewa, and then Wendelin will speak about the reproductive justice. and so there's three parts to the Tewa Women's United. One is generational and gender justice. I have not met with them, so I'm not sure about that, but I feel like the two that we really connect with, the reproductive justice and the environmental justice, that's pretty solid. So I have their agreement. I will be meeting with them. They're kind of like herding cats in a way, but I'm continuing to work on my relationships. I attended the legislative session at the Capitol building here in Santa Fe, the Roundhouse, where they had the doula day, which is getting Medicaid in New Mexico to pay for the doula services. And I don't know if that's passed yet, but there certainly were some magnificent speakers, and I was in tears most of the day. The thing that impresses me most is in the room, there was every color of person. It was so wonderful. From the Caucasian like me to the browns and the blacks. I mean, it was wonderful. And it was like, it wasn't overwhelmingly Caucasian. It was really quite wonderful. And so yes, I was very moved. So we're moving forward in that stuff. Hopefully they'll show up. No, I think they will. I'll get more confirmation.
Well, you were gonna have them for dinner before, right?
Yes, and we'll have them trapped.
We're doing
We'll have
a
them
whole
trapped.
dinner. Mary, we're doing a whole dinner for the whole group that we had originally blocked some time on Thursday night. We moved that to Friday night. So we're gonna have a dinner that will invite the keynotes, the Tiwa women, the Congress committee, the board, and spouses or guests who are there, because a lot of you are bringing spouses, like Bodie will be there. And so Patty's working on the letter that's going to go out to everybody, inviting them to dinner. Did we just have to make it clear that, Barbie and Catherine are not paying for their dinner, and obviously Catherine's husband's going to be there, so Tom shouldn't pay for his dinner either. The rest of us are going to pay for our dinners, but we'll order off the menu or something. We can talk to Josie about that Monday, Mary, when we talk to her, but it'll be like right after Teachers Day ends at 5 on Friday. So we'll try to figure out how to get there, get into the separate room. So it won't be in the restaurant. It'll be in another room that they had us in Thursday night. We've moved it to Friday night.
Well,
and
that's good. So
will-
you are arranging for a different room other than having
Yes.
all of us go into the restaurant.
Yes,
That makes
so-
sense.
Yes, it'll be a little cozier and nicer, so everybody will get to know each other and talk for a bit before we open the Congress. So try to get there like at 20 after 5 or something, and then so that we're back. Because I know I have to be back in the other room by 6:30 at the latest, or
Wow.
Ray will get me. So
It sounds like we should order our dinner ahead of time.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
well, I'm not sure whether we're going to be ordering off the menu or whether Josie can arrange for 2 or 3 choices, and then we can have everybody choose ahead of time. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty
that-
sure we'll have
that's-
to do it ahead of time because they're not connected to the restaurant at all. Like it's all, this would be through the menu that we have. So,
Okay, all
yeah.
right. So we'll do that. We'll get some choices, and then people can just pick what they want. And that we did that in Toronto and it worked really well, or did you order
Yep.
fish or chicken or whatever, and it worked out beautifully. So we can do that again.
Yep.
So
Once
we
we
won't
know,
have to
we just
rush
need to
that.
know the numbers. That's all.
Yeah. So Patty's gonna work on that, and then we'll try to get it out early next week, maybe. And then have them right back by Friday of next week so that we know the numbers, so that we can tell Josie.
The letter's out in the mail next week, the end of next week.
It's not going in the mail. It's gonna go in an email.
Email, okay.
Yeah,
So,
so,
and the
Just so
other
we know how
thing-
many people. Yeah.
Yes, and who is the letter from? From you or the board or,
from TTIA,
okay,
from
Okay,
from the Congress
just a-
committee, I guess from the Congress committee,
okay,
or from you and me, whatever, however you want to sign it. I don't, whatever you think is best. It's fine.
well, I'll show it to you before I send it. I
Okay,
think it looks good.
okay, good. Okay.
Okay, Cordy, do you want to just talk about the social evening since we're on you?
Oh, well, the only thing we thought we'd offer people to walk the labyrinth at the Cathedral Basilica and then stop someplace for dinner on the way back. I have talked to the apothecary and I am finding out it's probably no more than 12 can make a reservation there. I think we'll need to break up in different groups and, groups of 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 will go in different restaurants. I think that's probably the way to do it. Saturday night, it will be busy. And so whatever the experience, it will be enjoyable because you'll be getting real Santa Fe for sure. Plus
have a
all the
question,
tourists
Patty.
from everywhere.
You've talked about how long the walk is, how many
Uh-huh.
minutes it takes to walk there. Is there a possibility that some people could be driven over there? I mean, because some of us will have cars, some people will have cars. So
Yeah, it's a 7-minute walk, or people could drive. What I'm not sure about is if there'll be a place to park once you get to the
that's my
church.
question.
So I will check and see if there's any actual parking other than on the
Okay.
street parking.
Okay.
And it could be that, if somebody needs a ride, somebody like Bodie could take them and just,
Well,
drop them
I know,
off.
but I know there are people there who are gonna have cars too, so
Uh-huh.
in our group.
And the nice thing is that you have the El Dorado here and you have the church here and all the restaurants are all along between the two things. So you can, as you stroll to the labyrinth, you're walking by shops and restaurants. So you can kind of think about where you might like to eat.
See how many people we lose on the way to the labyrinth.
Yeah, the stores. And like, what's her name? The daughter-in-law of Gay said, things kind of wrap up between 9:30 and 10. So if we leave the hotel, what time is Saturday over with? The day?
4:30.
4:30.
Oh, okay. So
We're
if
good. We're
if we
good.
give people an hour, maybe like walk to the labyrinth at 5:30-ish.
Okay,
And
I'll change that on the program, so it'll be the social gathering, the walk, I'll change that to walk to the labyrinth, and it'll be 5:30 to 6:30.
yeah, and the thing that I keep going through my mind is 70 people walking the labyrinth. Is that possible?
Do you think they'd all go?
Well, that's if they do, I mean, it
Trying to
just,
say something. Barbara, you're on mute.
I was gonna
Forget-
say, Cordy, if people are walking over, maybe they won't all arrive won't be 70
at the
people
same time.
arriving. Yeah. But you're saying you
That's-
turn around, right? You turn around and walk the other way. Do you cross at all when you walk the labyrinth?
Well, yeah, when people are coming out of the center, you pass each other and that's beautiful.
But as
Yeah.
long as everybody, leaves space between them, it usually
Yeah.
works beautifully.
Yeah, it could, yeah, because it'll dribble. It won't be like 70 at the right moment. It'll slip
Yeah.
in.
It's
Maybe.
not like you have to all line up and let the oldest one go first or anything like that. We can just flow with it.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
right.
and it could be kind of a little more open about, start walking over at 5 or whatever, and people, so that people have more space
Yes,
if they
more
want or whatever.
flexibility.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because you don't want to walk too close together.
right.
Speaking of the labyrinth, not the reality one, but the virtual one, the paper one that I'm printing,
Uh-huh.
I'm laminating that for everybody who's going to be in person. So that will be in there. I'll be mailing them to Cordy when we get them done, because Patty and friends are going to be on a little committee. They don't know this yet, who are going to come help me laminate. And then Cordy, I'll mail them to you so that they can go in the bags. But the people who are doing it virtually, Mary, do you want those laminated and mailed, or do you want them to print them?
Well, how about if we email them to people and say, I don't know, can we say, if you have no way to print this, contact, I don't know.
I
I don't
I've
know.
never,
I'm not really sure what to do about that. We
we're
were,
telling.
we were
people
talking
to
about
keep
mailing them, so. Sorry?
Yeah, we were, but we never made a decision, and that's kind of an expensive idea to laminate them all and then mail them all over the world, because people virtually are not, it's not a 73-cent stamp.
Well, and the mail isn't always great everywhere.
That's what I was just gonna say. It could take half a year to get to Rwanda, but I know Panina's coming.
Sometimes it takes
Yeah,
that long to get to Australia. It's crazy. So, yeah.
so
I think-
maybe if we email them early, like now that they've registered, and say, we're gonna use this, can you find a way to print it before
Yeah.
we meet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't usually have a problem with people saying they can't print it.
Right, well, just if we give them a
problem-
lot of time too, so that, you know, if their printer ran out of ink or whatever their issue is, you know.
Okay.
Does that sound good to, what do you think,
Yes,
Madonna?
I think yes.
I think that's a good idea. And I think, you know, in this day and age, people should figure out a way to print things. I mean, even us old people, we old people can print things.
We sure can.
And we can
Awesome.
text, by
We
golly.
can print up a storm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the one little question I had that sort of got to do with Cordy in the opening was, like, I saw notes about Deb's words and stuff and incorporating that, or is Madonna
Oh,
incorporating that
oh.
in the beginning?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that in the opening of the Congress. Because it just is such a great it's just what we're all about this time. So, I mean, she says it so beautifully.
Yeah, and it,
Does
and it,
that comes first and then the land acknowledgement?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask that. Yeah,
That makes
I think-
sense.
I think
right.
because Madonna will be there to welcome everyone and
Yes, yes,
bring everybody
Yes.
down or center or in place and do her
Right.
little talk and that. So yeah,
hmm
you might as well finish all her piece pretty much.
yes. Right. Right.
Unless you wanted to come back in, like, I have this question, we don't have to deal with all the flow right now. We could maybe do it as brainstorming, but like, you know, who do we need to do a little intro to, or who doesn't need an intro and who needs a thank you? Like, so we've got
Right.
you, Madonna, and then we've got Cordy and the women, and then we've got the keynote. So after Cordy and the women, do we have you come back and say, oh, something, and then, you know, or do
Yes,
we just
thank
have
you, and
Mary Ann
good-
come? Yeah,
Right,
so,
right.
but
That would
we
be
need,
that would be the wrap up.
no, before the keynote even speaks.
Somebody was supposed to introduce Barbie.
Yes,
um,
Sue Ann,
Sue
Mary
Ann,
Ann
yeah.
is.
Oh,
Mary
Mary
Ann
Ann.
is.
You know,
It's
I think
Barbie.
that all that detail stuff of who's gonna do what
We-
introduction when, I
We,
think
we can do that in our
Barbie.
brainstorming group.
So, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we have all that to figure out.
Yeah, oh,
Okay.
it's been on our minds. We'll get to that.
And I'm wondering if we should begin with just a gentle welcome from Madonna and then go to the women, the Indigenous women, because it sort of comes to me that we want to open in a good way, and opening in a good way is acknowledging whose land we're
land.
on.
That's what
And
Cordy's
then come
doing.
back to Madonna.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
just a consideration. I'm not gonna
yes,
make.
and yes. That's fine.
They're part of the opening ceremony. That's what we're doing. That's what Cordy's doing, Peggy. You've got it.
Okay. But I just think before we start talking about the Congress too much, I think it would be good to just a general short introduction, and then we want to open in a good way and then pass it over to Cordy to do that. and then begin after they've opened us in a good way.
And then
So
come
you're
back to
saying
Madonna.
even the words about compassion should be after the land acknowledgement?
Oh,
I think that has to
You know,
come
I'm not
first.
gonna talk too long. You don't
Okay.
ever have to worry about me talking very long, you know? So it'll slide right into
I'm
the ceremony.
gonna be quiet. That sounds great. I know you'll do a marvelous
I think
job.
she means
Well-
she doesn't want you to do all the housekeeping stuff. Right, Peggy?
right,
I gotta agree with that. I gotta agree with that.
right.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right, Peggy. You're right.
yeah, we're not gonna say, yeah, right. But we can do this, we can get those explicit details soon, but not at this exact moment.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, Peggy, you're next up. I don't know why I'm re-echoing. I,
The labyrinth?
yeah, the labyrinth.
The labyrinth
one.
is almost done. I have to put a few more blue beads on it, and then it's done. And then I'll finish it. I'll put something over the surface to make sure the beads stay on, and then it's ready to come with me to the Congress. So yeah, I'll send another photograph.
Like-
And yeah,
You're showing us the photograph now, or you're
No,
gonna send
no,
it in an
no.
email?
I'll
Oh,
send
okay.
it right now. Yeah.
All right. And maybe after we can like talk about when maybe just you and I or a small group of us could talk about how we're going to incorporate the graphic notes, like the reflection of the graphic notes in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
But
talking about the graphic notes, I did do a trial run with my transpersonal group, and I found it very, very hard to encourage people to actual draw. They felt like they were drawing, but I want to make it really clear that you're just putting marks or colors or something that means something to you on the notes. So I'm going to work on that and just make sure. I have another course that I'm teaching, and I'm going to try again to get people to use them, so I have a better understanding of what encourages people to use them.
okay, super. So maybe next week sometime, or you and I could meet and talk a little bit more about how we're gonna, if anybody does anything, share that and reflect back.
Yeah, yes. I don't know how we can do it virtually, but I was thinking I'll have a board up, like a piece of paper where people can put some of their notes up if they think they've hit a really good one for heart to heart or something like that. They could put something up on a board that would be available for people to go and look at, be like a poster. And I think we talked about that. And then the people who are doing it virtually, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to share, but I'd like to be able to get their input to put up on the poster. So that's
Yeah. That's what we were talking about, getting people to take a photo of what they did and email it. But then I remember we were having this discussion with Ray about how we would pull
Well,
all those photos together.
So we have a printer here. If I had the email photos, I could print them out in the evening and then bring them back the next morning.
Oh, and we could do a little live video of the board.
great.
I don't know.
I'm
Ray,
just
do you-
thinking, what about, a word art collage kind of thing? Is that possible to do with the things that the virtual people submit?
Yeah.
Ray's
Usually
thinking.
those word art things are like single
He's on
words.
mute there.
Just words.
I know,
Yeah, no.
I said word art kind of thing, just
No,
that
yeah.
idea.
I don't know a way to really make a collage of a whole lot of images that could really be viewable. I mean, they would all be tiny. I would almost rather have a PowerPoint that had each one on its own slide and kind of go through each one 10 seconds a piece, or, you know, something like that. But
Okay.
So they could send them to you. Ray.
yeah, and again, I couldn't put them together necessarily while we're, you know, send them in and I'm going to have them ready in 10 minutes. But if we
No,
send
no,
them
like
in,
the next
and I
day.
have them to put together that evening and have it ready for the next day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
okay.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll think about when that can all happen. All right, I see that we're 5 minutes to 4, so there's lots left on the list. What should we talk about?
Well,
Okay.
you mentioned the Labyrinth fundraiser, but we didn't talk about when we're gonna decide, when we're gonna draw the name for that and how we're doing that. Are people putting their names in a hat? Are we putting the names of all the Labyrinth
that's
people in
for
a hat? Or
That's
is
for
it
the
just for the
people that are,
donors?
yeah, that was for the donors, right?
So
Isn't,
I'll make up little slips of paper with the donors' names on them. As long as they don't want to be, I mean, if it's somebody who's an anonymous donor, I'm not gonna put their name in there, so they're not gonna get it. But everybody else, I'll put their names in there, including the organizations, because there are organizations who've made donations. And then at some point, Peggy, when do you want to draw that name?
At
Again,
the meeting, would that be good also at the meeting or not? Is that too much?
how's our agenda going for the meeting, Madonna? It's not too much. It won't take long.
Right, the way I'm envisioning the meeting is that we will be doing mostly Congress business. It's not like we're going to, you know, introduce initiatives or anything. We're
Oh,
going
no,
to.
no. It's a fun acknowledgement kind of.
Right. It's like, oh, we're all here together. Great. So now we'll do, you know, we're going to do our awards. We're going to do the Labyrinth thing. We're going to do, so that would be a perfect time. We're going to do whatever we said. Oh, we'll close the necklace bidding and that kind of thing. So I think that would be fine. I think that would be a fine time. It would give people a reason to look up from their box lunch or whatever they're doing there. So that would be good.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah.
all the stuff about
You
the
have something? Barbara needs to say something.
yes,
Mary, I'm
Barbara.
sorry. I'm sorry
Say
to
something.
interrupt, but I'm gonna have to leave. I have to leave right now. And so I just want to let you all know, is this okay if I just tell you real quick my little part?
Yes,
Okay, so I've sent out, Sue sent me the list of all the people who have volunteered, and I've sent out emails to 23 people, and 13 have said yes to what they're able to do, and I'm just waiting for the other one. So it sounds like everything's coming along. Is that
that's
okay?
great. Thanks so much, Barbara.
All right?
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Reach out if you need anything.
I definitely will. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi,
Okay,
Barbara.
good.
Bye.
Bye.
Mary, the other thing that I think we should do, since we want to close in a couple of minutes, if Patty has anything to say about the poster presentations, the rest of it, I think that you have,
No, I don't know how to
we
get
can
off.
do in brainstorming meeting.
Yep.
Which we need
Patty?
to schedule.
I don't have much to add to it. I still just have technically the one poster presentation from Jennifer Browning. The other three that we spoke of, something about graphic recording and two others, Durango. I can't remember
Yeah,
what the third was.
I still have to get a commitment from the Durango nurses, but I will beat them into it.
Well, that was my question. I was thinking of, Courtney, should I be contacting them or, okay, so you'll contact them. What about the other two posters? Should I contact those people or a person?
The graphic recording is going to be images that people have presented. I'm just not sure how to get the electronic ones. Anyway, images that people have presented that will go onto that. So it will be built on site.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll build the plane as we're flying it,
We just need a spot on the wall for that,
right?
where the poster presentations are.
And then just any hardware that I need for hanging posters or, So
We'll
you and
have to
I-
talk to the people of El Dorado.
yeah, we can talk offline about that, but I want to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
I pack it in my suitcase and don't forget it.
Okay.
I was just gonna, you know, those poster things that you can get with it's like a 3 thing, so it can sit on a table. That's what I was preparing to get the Durango people to do. So I'm going there, in a couple of weekends and I'll get it together.
So that
Okay.
might be what Jennifer's done too. I'm not sure. It might be a wall thing. I'm not sure.
I can't
Patty, why
remember
don't
what
you ask Jennifer if hers is to
Okay.
hang on a wall or to sit on a tabletop? Then we'll know what to tell the people at El Dorado we need.
Okay. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
All right then. Anybody else want to say? Leonie, Peggy's been doing notes.
I feel so stupid. I was ready to go. I had a TT treatment to give and I translated 5 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
And see, I
I didn't know-
translated it to 4 o'clock, or I don't.
And I'm so sorry. I mean, I had my computers ready to go and all this stuff. I just came home from, yeah. Anyways, I feel so embarrassed, but next time I'll do them. And next time I will make sure I put 2 o'clock on my calendar and not
Time
3
zones
o'clock.
are hard. Time zones are hard.
Yeah, and our next meeting is the 13th, and I already have 5 Eastern, 3 Mountain. And why I didn't have it on today, I don't know.
Well, you know,
Green Mountain. Okay,
I'm
that's
gonna
West
take the
Coast.
blame. I'm gonna take the blame for this because I did not put all the times on the email the way I usually do.
You
So-
shouldn't have to do that. We can all do subtraction. It's pretty amazing. It's 5
Well,
minus
you see
3
how that
is
works
2.
out. So, you know,
Yeah, right, Leonie, right.
you know, it's like in all the procedures that I've written over the years, there are just certain things that people need put on a spoon. You know, I mean, some stuff is for figuring and some stuff you just need to like feed people. So, and the time is,
I was
Is
so
that
sure I
thing.
was right. I didn't even look.
oh, there you go.
There
Well
you go.
then,
well.
I just automatically think I'm really good with time zones because I do it so much, but I think the last meeting was at 6, maybe that, I don't know.
Oh,
You're right. You're right, Cody.
oh.
I think that's what got changed is that the time of the
Yep.
meeting got moved up.
Yep, you're right.
And so when you said the next one is March when?
It's
13.
the 13th.
13th at 2 p.m.
In
Okay,
2
so
weeks.
Eastern. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Well, we all ended, so there you go. All right. If after we say goodbye, if Patty and Sue and Madonna could just stay for a minute and we book a date, that would be awesome. Okay. Thanks,
I'll stop the
everybody.
recording for this though.
Okay. All right.